Hello, hello, everyone. This is Brenda from Stamplicity, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday. All right, this is a pre-recorded video, just because I have lots on my plate, and I have another commitment this evening, so I didn't want to miss out, but I did do a recorded video, so hope you enjoy it. All right, so we are focusing on the brand new collection from Hero Arts, and I'm calling it Chip Chip Hooray. But actually, that is the name of the actual stamp set. But this is a bundle deal, all right? Because it just makes sense to get it as a bundle. And it's all about that potato chip snack attack, all right? So the die itself is called Snack Attack, and the stamp set is called Chip Chip Hooray. And let's just talk about this. So this is a bundle deal. You'll get the die, you'll get this the stamp as well as a stencil, and I'm going to show you how it kind of all works together this evening. I love this because I am a salty snack girl. I could do without chocolate. I'm good. I don't need chocolate. I know there's some of you out there that love chocolate, but I'm the salty. I crave, that salty snacking. um, and I don't actually even buy potato chips to have in the house, because if they're here, they're gonna eat. I'm gonna eat them. But that is my kind of go-to snack, my downfall. So we don't even have them in the house because I love them so much. So this really speaks to me. Um, Let me know if you are a salty snacker or a sweet snacker in the comments. I love seeing all the comments afterwards. All right, but this one here is going to create a little snack bag. All right. And there's different ways that you can use this, and I'm going to show you this evening. I love these. There are potato chips in here and nacho chips in this die collection. All right. First of all, you're going to get ruffle chips. So if you are a ruffle person, they have the ruffled chips. And then you have the regular potato chips. All right. And then you have the nachos as well. So you can have a lot of fun with this one. So the die itself will create the chip bag as well as the chips. All right. Then there is a coordinating stencil with this. All right. So there are two stencils with this one. And again, you can have some fun with the shading of the potato chips and the chip bag, and as well as, some of the fun little decorations you may find on chip bags, like the little stars and all that, right? So if you look at the different chip bags that are out on the market, Hostess, I think they have little stars and all that on there, and the Doritos and such. Those are little elements that you can use to decorate your bag. All right, so that's the stencil. So I'll show you how to use that. And then, of course, there is the fabulous stamp set that goes with this. Chip Chip Hooray is one of them. Nacho Average Friend Chip. Stay salty, my friend, and you're all that in a bag of chips. And then, of course, you're going to have some little decorative elements too to decorate your bag. All right, so it's kind of an all-in-one kind of bundle, and you can find it on our website. It's been a big seller so far, so I'm going to show you how to use it all. So I do have some samples that I have done already. I did take a class with Hero Arts when they first introduced this. This is the card that we did in the class. So it did this one here, which I really am not going to show you, but I'm going to walk you through this one. This one here, just die cut the chip bag here and then use the stencils to do all the stencil work on there. And then we just stamped the sentiment on there, all right? And look at those chips. Do they not look real? Like, oh my gosh, my stomach is just like, yummy, yummy, right? But they look so real, those potato chips. So that was the one that we did in class with Hero Arts. But I'm a quick crafter. A lot of you know that. So as the class is going on, I was able to create two more cards. All right. So I did a nacho one. This is on a wobble. All right. So as you can see, there's a little spring action. I made this into an easel card, and I made this into kind of like the Dorito bag with the Doritos. But again, look how realistic those little chips do. I love the little, little elements that die cut and then deboss on them to make them realistic. So there is my little easel card, little playful one. And then this one here is a shaped card. You know, I love my shaped cards. So this one here is a little shaped card. I'm going to be showing you how to make a shaped card with this little thing. I think this is a great set for, you know, making masculine cards. We all struggle with that, and I know a lot of you do. And, you know, great for like teenagers and such, right? So, but anyways, there's a shaped card. And you can see the shading on the bag. It really adds to the bag itself, all right, those little details, all right. So we're going to create 3 more cards this evening. I'm going to show you how to put it all together using the stencils. I'm going to show you how to do a shaped card, and we're going to fit into a shaker card in there with a surprise element. So so let's get going, and let's start creating. Now I've already taken the liberty of doing some die cutting, all right. So we're going to start, oops, we're going to start with the regular chip bag here. All right, so I just cut it out in a couple of coordinating colors here, and we're going to do, we'll do the regular chips on these ones, all right, so not the ruffles. I did cut them out. I'll talk about this in a second, so let me just put that to the side. So for this one here with the die, I just cut a base, and I just cut it out of white. All right. So it's funny because, you know, I look at chip bags now to see what color they are so I can do my cards. But this one I just did out of white, and that's using this die here. All right. So that's the base die. Now I could just leave it as is and then use the stencil on there. So if I bring the stencil one here from this one, there is a couple of deboss lines on here. All right. Yes, the camera's picking that up. So this here, then I could just lay this down on the right way. There we go. On here, and I could use my inks and just shade it in. All right. So I could definitely do that. So that's going to do the middle part. That's going to do the upper part and the bottom part. All right. And that is how we did this one here. All right, so we just had the base of white, and then we used the stencil to shade in the different elements on here. All right, so that is how that is done. All right. You also have the potato chips, the solid color as well, if you just wanted to start with white paper. So this one here is more if you start with white or a base color and you wanted to add more to the solid features of the chip bag. All right. So that's stencil number 1. Stencil number 2 is more of the detail elements on there. So this here, we'll do the shading on the chip bag. All right, so on the edges of it to give you that kind of shadowy look to make it more of a dimensional bag rather than a flat bag. And then you also have the details for the chips, all right, the shading of there. So that's what we're going to be using, all right. So those are the 2 stencils, all right. Now, what I'm doing is I'm using the die, and then we'll go to the detail stencil, all right. So I have cut out of red and this kind of teal the other elements of the die, so I can layer it onto my base. So this will be the middle of the potato chip bag, and that's what I cut out of red. And then the top and the bottom, I've done in that tealy color, and that's using these ones, all right? Then I went and took it upon myself. I just found a cardstock that I had in my scraps that was kind of a pale yellow, and I just cut my potato chips, all right? So that's what those are. So I'm starting with colored cardstock, all right? And then we're going to kind of omit the base stencil on this one here. We're going to not use this one. We're going to go into the detail stencil. All right. So we're going to put this together, and then I'll do the shading. So it's really easy to put together because of the debossed lines on there. Hero Arts has made it really simple. So of course my glue is not going to start working here because of course, you know, I'm live on video. Oh man. I've been working all morning on projects and such. It was working fine, but as soon as you go on video, there we go. All right, so I'm just going to glue this together. All right, so they will line up perfectly in amongst those debossed lines. All right, now I like using liquid glue because I can shimmy it in case I don't get perfect placement. All right, so there is my first piece. And then I'll do the middle piece. I gotta say, Hero Arts is coming out with some really fabulous releases. they're getting to like these kind of real fun, trendy dies and stamps, and you're going to see that. I don't know if you saw the samples of the jean jacket. Oh my gosh, that thing is that die and stamps and all that that go with it is just truly amazing. I'm going to be showing you a new release at the end of this video because it kind of coincides with this. So yeah, they're just really got some fantastic, really fun um, collections. All right, so there's our chip bag. Now I like the kind of the shape of this, right? It gives you that dimension that it's a bag of air, right? Like I just love it. They didn't do straight edges and all that. I love that it looks like a little bag of something, right? So that's all glued together now. So now we're going to do some shading on here. This is where the stencils is going to come into play now. So let me just put this together. All right. So now I can lay this down, and I always struggle getting this lined up the right way. Uh, there we go. Okay. Nope, that's not it either. No, I think I had it right the first time. There we go. This is the right way. I got it now. Okay, so what I love about this is that it's not going to be absolutely perfect on here. Um, it's just going to give you shading here, there, and oh, maybe I do have the wrong way. I don't know. There we go. I got it now. But it's not going to line up absolutely perfect. You might have a little spacing here and there, but that's okay. This is just shading, all right? So I have that lined up. I'm going to grab my magnet, and I'm going to lay that on there. Now, I am just going to use a little bit of brown ink on this, all right, just to create that shading. So I'm just using the 49 Market dye inks, all right? These are really fantastic. They're very similar to kind of distress ink. So I'm really kind of, I think I just used the wrong brush on this. Of course I did. Not paying attention. I used the round brush on the red brush on the brown ink. One moment, please, as I clean off my brush. All right. Okay, let's try that again. The brown brush with the brown ink. All right. So I'm just going to pick up that. I'm going to hold this in place, and then I am just going to kind of just go over. And it doesn't matter, I just want a little bit of shading on there. The reason I chose brown, I could have went with a red and a teal, but then I got to change. But the brown will give the shading I want. You could also do a very pale gray. You could do tone on tone, like I could bring the red and do the red on the red part and the teal and the teal. But I just thought brown was a neutral, and that will just give the shading that I want. All right, so sorry, I know I'm shaking the whole camera here because everything is shaking on my desk. All right, so there is that. Now the big reveal. And honestly, this little bit of shading on here makes a world of difference. All right, so there we go with a little bit of brown ink, but that just makes a world of difference, right? It really adds dimension to our little chip bag. Okay, now I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to get my little potato chips here, and we're going to do a little shading on here. Honestly, this makes like they look fine the way they are, but as soon as you put that little bit of shading on here, it really adds to the potato chips. So I have three shapes of the regular potato chips. So the first shape here is the kind of wonky one, this one here. You'll see that the shape of it, you'll notice it right away. It will fit right on there. So I'm just going to line that up as best I can. Again, you don't need to have perfect. And I am just using the brown ink. All right, so let's just add a little bit more. All right, and all right, that one I could go a little bit darker, but it's got the shading on there. So I'm going to do all of these. It is the first time you use this is a little awkward, right? You got to figure out, oh, how does this line up? But once you do a few of these, then you're going to have no problem. All right, so I'm just going to go a little bit heavier handed with this ink. All right, yeah, that's a little bit better. All right, and it just gives the illusion of the, how you get those kind of brown spots on the chips. That's what this is. All right, easy peasy. I'm going to just grab my grip mat here so I'm not struggling with these little potato chips. All right, so can I get this in camera view? Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to line these up on my sheet here. This way they won't move on me. All right, so this one here, the next one is going to be the round one. So there's 3 little elements there. So I'm just going to kind of line that up on there. And again, does not need to be absolutely perfect. And 1. But it's just amazing what a little ink in certain places will do to a die cut. All right, just makes it look even more realistic. All right, so those are those potato chips. And I'll hold these up in a second. I am going to do the last ones, which are these kind of like half moon shapes. And that's going to be the last design on this stencil. And you can see the little half moon there. And again, you're just going to line that up. I think this would be fun to do with kids as well. I'm just saying, like, honestly, I think back in the day, my Josh would have gotten a kick out of doing these potato chip bags. I don't know, maybe now at 24 he would still, I'm not sure, but I just think they are just super cute. Oh my gosh, look at that. All right, so let me just pick some of these little potato chips up in my hand and you tell me. Look at it. Oop, it looked like little potato chips, right? Like, oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, so that is the potato chips. Put that over there, and I guess I can leave that there. Okay, so now we got that, and now I'm going to go ahead and let's stamp a little sentiment on here. So I'm going to use that middle part to put a sentiment on. So I'm just going to grab my stamping platform. And let's add our little chip bag there. Hold it down. And let's pick a sentiment for this one here. So we have "You're all that in a bag of chips. Stay salty, my friend." I won't do the nacho one because we're using potato chips. Chip, chip, hooray. I think I'm going to use "You're all that in a bag of chips." I like that one. And this will center in there really, really nice. I'm going to stand up so I can get this centered. All right, so I'm being picky now. All right, I think I'm good there. Okay, so let me just get this down with the magnets, and I didn't grab my ink. So I'm just going to stamp this with black ink. All right, so my go-to is the Nocturne from Versifying Claire. That turned out really, really well. I am going to go over it one more time just to deepen that black. All right, and oh, awesome. Okay, just going to clean my stamp and return that to my stamp set here. And take a look. That is so much fun. Okay, and now we need to put this on a background, which I did not plan for. What do I got here on my desk? Ooh, I like that on the craft. All right, so this came from On Create die set. And where are the rest of my dies? Because I want the mat that goes on there. So give me 1 second, everyone. I totally forgot that we're going to put this on a card. Somewhere. There it is. Okay. Okay, let's find this one. This one is Holy Fun, I believe. Oh, you know what? I know what I want to use, maybe. Because, sorry, because I have leftover papers from All in Create, that from one of their 12 by 12 paper pads, I think I'm going to use one of these. So do I want to use this one? I think I'm going to use this one here. All right, now to find the die. Holy Fun. There it is. Okay. One of my faves, all right, from All in Create. And this is the inset piece that's going to go there. So let me just go ahead and, so I want to get a little bit of that teal. Not that we're going to see much of it. I may change my mind now, everyone. Do we want just, maybe I'll just do that. I think I'm just going to go with the white one. I think the rest of it's a little too busy. All right, so let me die cut this really, really quick. Push that over and then. I love, love, love this shape. Look at it. You got that distressed look. All right. And then it mats down onto that lovely kind of distressed scallop. There's a couple of sizes in there. We're using the larger side, maybe, then one step down, and then you get a couple of smaller ones. That one's called Holy Fun. All right. I love these ones. I love the little distressed edge, and then you get these little pieces that pop out as well. I just love the look of this one. They've got some really great dies, All in Create. I just gotta say, like, we have some new ones coming in. Just saying. The box arrived yesterday. I did not unpack it, but I know there's some new ones in there, and I'm looking forward to them. So, anyways, back to our little chips. All right, so I'm gonna go just add a little bit of brown ink around this soap. Let's get my bigger ink brush. And I'm just going to go around the edge here. All right, so sorry, let me just move my camera a little bit down. There we go. All right, so we're just adding a little bit of brown ink around the edge here. All right, so there is that. Look at that fun design on there, right? Like just, okay. I might as well add a little bit of brown ink around the edge of the base of this as well, just to deepen it up, hit the edges. All right, there is that. Okay, so now I can go ahead and place this on there. So let's glue that on. And that's just going to frame in nicely on here. I like the little pinpoint design on here as well. Just a lot of elements just on these two dies alone that create a nice visual interest. All right, so there's a cool background. Okay, now let's get our little bag of chips, all right? And look how awesome that is. Now, are the other things? Can I fit any more on there? No, I cannot, but that's okay. We're going to, I think I'm going to kind of give this a little shaping. Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to bend it a little bit. All right. So just kind of curving it away. And I'm now going to put some foam adhesive in the center here. I'm going to put adhesive down here. So it's like an open bag of chips, and we'll have the chips kind of coming out of the top here. So foam adhesive. Sorry, my cart is like halfway across the room. I don't know why it is. And okay, so let's put some foam adhesives just in the center. And then I'm also going to run adhesive down on the sides just to keep that kind of curved look of, an open bag of chips. All right. And I'm then going to put this a little bit closer to the bottom, and I'm going to angle it. So let me just get it in position. And then I'm going to kind of push the sides down, and we have it kind of domed up. All right. So you can kind of see it slightly domed up, but it's going to give that illusion of that. Okay. Now the fun part of putting the chips in here. So we kind of want them coming out of the chip bag. So I'm going to put a couple of flat. I'm going to use some foam adhesive. So let me just get a few down. Okay, and now we're going to pop some of these up. So I'm just going to put a foam adhesive. And again, I could shape these a little bit, kind of, give them a little bend. Oh my God, I love that. Ah, so much fun. All right, and I think we should have a few of the little chips down at the bottom. So I'm going to just put a few. And my last little one, do I want this? Let's do this over here. All right, so take a look. There you are. You're all that in a bag of chips. All right, how much fun is that? A really kind of realistic looking bag of chips and the potato chips. All right, so there's card number one. That turned out awesome, even better. I really like that background on there. Again, that's wholly fun. All right, so from All In Create. All right, so there is card number one. Let's continue on. And let's do our nachos now. All right. So this one here, I'm going to make into a shaped card. So I have my components cut out. So let me just tidy up a little bit because my works. Oh, I have another chip here. Yay. Okay. I am moving this one. I am moving this one up here. No, I'm moving this one. All right. Maybe I'm not moving that one at all. All right, there we go. That one's done now. Okay, so we're gonna make it into shaped cards. So this is what I've done here. I have cut two bases. All right. Now, one's going to be my inside of the card, and one is going to be the outside of the card. All right. So sometimes when you see a bag of chips, they have a little bit of like a foil look to them. So this one I chose a white. I mean, a gold mirrored. All right. So I cut one of the bases in that, and this is going to be the front of my card. And then I just cut some orange for the top and bottom, and then the yellow for there. And that's going to create my chip bag. This one here, I cut the same orange as my base. So we're going to layer these together to create that shaped card. All right, so we're going to create this. You know me, I love my shaped cards, and I love the fact that there's a little bit of detail on the edging of these ones, which make it, you know, really fun. And it's just, I mean, how cute would these be for a party setting? You know, if you were doing, you know, kids' birthday parties, this would make a great invitation as well. I'm just saying. But I love the shaped cards. All right. So this will be our base. So what we need to do is we are going to score this one. So we're going to need a scoreboard. And we're going to score from the top about, I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch. Now, this is not a straight edge by any means, but we're going to do what we think is about 3/4 of an inch. All right. And let's score that. All right, so that's scored. And I'm just going to very carefully fold that back and forth, all right? And make sure you fold on the right score line, the one that you just did, not the one that kind of indents when you cut this, all right? So that's just going to train the paper to go back and forth to create our shaped card. So we have that. All right, so now I'm going to take my top piece and making sure that we match it correctly. You're going to now adhere these two together. We're going to put adhesive above that score line, and I'm going to use my Ultra Strong, all right, with a little bit of glue. All right, the reason I'm doing a little bit of glue on my tape runner, all right, is because I do want to have that little bit of time to shift this in case I don't get lined up properly. Okay, so, all right, once it's lined up, I'm just going to give that a little burnish. Now we do have to wait for that glue to dry, but that's going to hold it nicely. All right, so then when we open this, when you open the top flap, my glue is probably not set yet. It's just because we did the score line on there, we create that fun fold, or not fun fold, but shaped card fold. All right, so so there's that. So let's go ahead and decorate this. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my verse now, I think, before I put this together. No, maybe I will do it all together. I'm going to do it all together. I'm going to glue this together just because the not so average friend will go on the top and bottom pieces. So I'm just going to glue it all together. So, okay. Let's start with the top. Now, because I'm working on mirrored paper, I probably should use adhesive runner rather than wet glue because it will dry quicker. So, all right. So again, I'm just going to use those lines that are on there to help place the piece. I got glue all over my finger. Okay, so there's the first piece. Oh. And the second piece. And I've lost my third piece. I don't know where my third piece went, guys. I had it. And and then it disappeared. Well, this is not good. I hope this all happens to you as well. Okay, it's got to be here. It's seriously missing. All right, I guess I'm going to cut another one. Do I have enough of that color? Is the next question. Oh, I got another one. All right, well, just die cut another one, and I know that's when I'll find it. All right, so let's just make sure it is this one I need. Did I cut the right one? I did. Okay. Carrying on. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's glue this one on, and then we're going to do the shading. We'll do a little stamp, and then we'll put the nacho chips on there. And I use liquid glue. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. All right. So there is our little chip bag. All right, I like the little foiled edges. I just think that's really special. Just like if you look at a chip bag, usually it's silver foiled, and that's what I kind of did on this one here. All right, so that is silver foiled. Okay, so let's go ahead and use our little detail piece here, and let's do. So this one here, because of the gold foil, we obviously cannot do shading on there, right? So this one here is just really going to be concentrating on the actual bag itself. So again, I'm just going to use brown ink for this, all right? And just very quickly, just a little bit of shading. And you'll notice I am going in both motions, clockwise and counterclockwise around. This way I'm hitting all the edges of the stencil. Okay, and let's pull that off. And again, there is that little bit of shading. It just adds that much, all right? And brown is a good color to work on a lot of these colors, all right? It's a neutral. It just kind of does a lighter brown will do kind of like a tone on tone almost look, all right? So there is that. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp a sentiment on here now. So I am going to hold this down with magnets only because I don't want this to move because we've got lots of layers on here. And we're going to use the nacho sentiment there. Nacho average friendship. Friendship. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to center it as best I can. All right, and again, we're going to do this in black ink. I'm going to stand up for this one. And I'm also going to use those kind of extra elements that are in the stamp set to create a little bit more embellishing on the actual chip bag. But let's get our sentiment on there first. And I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to go one more time. Beautiful. All right, let's clean off my stamp. And like I said, I want to use some of those elements that are in the stamp set. You also have them in your stencil as well. So I'm going to do a little combination of both, I think. Okay. Now, because this is a pigment ink, I am just going to zap it with a heat tool because I'm going to go over it with a stencil and I don't want to smear it. So I'm just going to zap this with a heat tool just to make sure that ink is good and dry. Okay, let's just go back to the stencil because I really wanted to show you how these are used as well. So we've got all these little different little icons here. And then on the stamp set as well, you're going to have coordinating ones that you can layer on there, which is kind of cool. All right. So, so we'll do a combination of both. All right. So let me go ahead and just kind of place some of these on there. And I'm just going to use that brown ink again. All right. So I'm just holding the stencil in place and counterclockwise and clockwise just to grab. And this is just little bit in the background. All right. So we're going to do a couple of these little shapes here. Maybe one more up here. All right. So we have them and they're just very like, they're just in the background. All right. Nothing real like in your face. All right. So let's do some of these smaller ones now, that same shape. And we'll do the same thing. And then I will hold this up to the camera so you can kind of see. And I am placing these just around those larger ones I did. And let's do one over here as well. Okay, so there is, look how awesome that looks. Okay, now we're going to go to the stamp set and coordinate those. So with this here, I'm not going to use a stamp platform. I'm definitely going to use an ink block, acrylic block, and just stamp it that way. All right, so this one here has two of these little star elements. One is a solid and one is an outline. So I just have the outline one. It's really small. All right, could I use a bigger block? All right, so there it is. And we're just going to ink this. And now I can go ahead and I'm going to put this right in the center of the larger stenciled ones that I just did. All right. And this is just a fun little detail. I'm sorry if my head's getting in the way of the camera there, my ponytail. All right, so there is that. Now I'm going to go to the solid one. And that's going to go into the smaller ones that we stenciled in as best I can. All right, love it. All right, clean that off. Let's put that back. And then I'm gonna bring that up to the camera so you can kind of see all that little detail that I just did. It really kind of makes that little chip bag fun. All right, so there we go. All right, let's go the nacho chips now. So I did die cut these out of kind of a darker yellow. All right, and again, they have the little kind of nacho chip details on there. Look how cute they are. All right. Now, unfortunately, I am not able to eat nacho chips. I have an allergy to corn, believe it or not. I get very, very sick when I eat corn of any kind. So that means no popcorn, no nacho chips, no Doritos. It kind of sucks. My husband is a big nacho fan. And you know, anytime you go to a restaurant, the plates of nachos are so large, right? He can never finish it all, right? He's like, I wish you could eat nachos because Yeah, I can't do that. Anyways, this on this side of the stencil is where the nacho details are. So there is two stencils. I don't know which one goes with which. To me, they look all the same. So I just stick it on, and then I'm going to use brown ink to go over it. And then I'm going to show you, because we're going to make these into kind of I don't know, not just regular nacho chips. We're going to do them as a cheesy flavored, I guess, like Doritos. So I'm just laying these on, and then using my brown ink to put those little areas on there. And honestly, it just adds. I'm not even worried that these are lined up properly. I don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way about adding these. It's just giving that kind of dotted kind of look to the nachos, to the nacho chips. Okay, so there they are. And let me just bring one up to the camera so you can see. Look at how cute they are. All right, let's give them a little bit of cheesy flavor on them now. So I'm going to go in with my red ink now. So for this one here, I'm just going to grab red ink on here, and I'm going to do kind of a stippling, just almost to give it that kind of cheesy flavored look. You can see that that is definitely colored them. These are the red bag Doritos. I don't know what kind they are, but that's what these ones are. So I'm just kind of stippling that in. So we're getting kind of the red kind of tiny specks on there. And now we have the flavored Doritos. All right. Okay, so now I probably have way too many Doritos for this one here. We only need a few, but we're going to just kind of put these on here now. So let's put one flat in the corner here. And then another one. And then we're going to pop one up. All right, so there is our little Doritos. And I think I'm going to put one maybe at the top here, pop it up, and then we can use the rest of them to decorate on the inside of our card. All right, so one up there. And then now we can put a little sentiment in there, and then I can use these. And I'm just going to put a little cluster of 3 at the bottom here. And I'm not going to pop any of them up because I don't want any dimension on the inside of my card. Okay. One little nacho left, but there we go. Our little nacho chips. Look how realistic they look. All right. So nacho, average, friend, chip. All right. So a little play on the words there. We've got our little nacho chips, and then we can put our little sentiment and sign our card. And that is our little shaped card there, which is awesome. All right. So there is our nacho chips. All right. Now that's the whole set from Hero Arts with the Chip Chip Hooray and the Snack Attack. But they just came out with a brand new release, and so we're going to do a shaker card with this one. And this is pretty awesome. And this we should have in this week, if I'm not mistaken. No, it'll be here next week. Sorry, I have a few orders coming in from Spellbinders and Hero Arts. And this one is called I gotta get the collection correct. All right, so this one here is the Berry Sweet Collection. All right. So this is a new collection, and this is from Carly T, from Hero Arts, and it's all about gummy bears. All right, and candy. All right. So for those that love the sweet aspect, this is going to be appealing to you. So I'm going to show you what I have, what's in the collection here, and just mind, please mind my dies and collection, because I have prototypes here. But there's a whole lot here. So let me just, first of all, this is the lovely big die. All right. So I don't know the names of this one. Let's see if I have the names here. This will create a large gummy bear, which is super cute. But it will also create, do I have it here? No, I think it's at the store, my sample. But sorry, this is a whole big set. You've got the base, which will cut out this shape. All right. So, and this is an A2 panel here. So you can kind of see, like, it's a big gummy bear. All right. Then we've got the overlay. Now the overlay will cut these little openings on the arms and the legs. So you actually can put stuff in there. It can hold the heart. All right. But you can put like a chapstick in there. You could put a little bag of gummy bears there, or treats, lollipop. It will actually hold, which is really, really cool. And then you've got some accessories. You can put the highlights on there. You've got the nose and the mouth, or noses and the eyes. Then you got little gummy bears, large ones that you can overlap. There's a whole bunch of different things. All right. So that is that's the bear hugs. This is called bear hugs. All right. I might have these wrong, but that's called bear hugs. And then there is a stamp and die set here. This is called Big Hugs. All right. So this will be a stamp and cut that you'll get the stamp, and then the die to go with it. All right. That belongs to this. Then this one here. No, this one here. I don't know what this one is. Anyways, there's this one here. So this one here, I'm gonna call it the candy kebab, but I know that's not the name of it. But this is a standalone die, but it's got all the fun little kind of licorice gummy type of candies. It's got the kebab or the stick there that you can have. This is amazing when it's done. All right. You've also got two little sentiments. Then you've got the penny candy jar. All right, so this one is that lovely candy jar. Again, great shaped card here. And then you've got all the little candies. You even got the scoop. I think this is going to be used for many, many other things. And then there is a stamp and die set. And this one is called Let's Stick Together. And this one here, we're going to be using this one here. So this one again has all the kind of gummy candies. So you can do two-toned, you can do the solid in one color, and then the overlay in another one, all the gummy ones, plus all the little things that work with it. So you got the little gummy worms, you've got the sours, you've got the little fish, the sweetest fish, the sour peach candies and all that. And then you've got the matching dies to go with it. All right. So this is a whole collection as well. You can buy it a la carte, but if you are a candy lover and you think you're going to use this over and over again, then get the whole bundle deal. All right. It works out cheaper to get the bundle deal. And then when you get the bundle deal, you will actually get a free class with Carly. And she's going to walk you through on how to make, I know, 4 or 5 different cards with the whole collection. And I took I had taken a card class with her, and she is full of tips and techniques, which is pretty awesome. So there is that. So then you get that, and you can watch the class anytime after it as well. It is on YouTube. So there is that. All right. So we're going to do something with the gummy bears with our little bag here. We're going to make a little bag of gummies. All right. So let me get my little. All right, so those, all right, so we're gonna make a shaker card with this. So I have all my little gummy bears. These are the smallest ones from the die set. Look how cute they are. So we're gonna use these as our shaker elements. I'm gonna get rid of this here because I don't need this now. All right, so I looked up what a bag of gummy bears looks like. And if I forget the brand now, it starts with letter H, it'll come to me. But they have the gold bag, all right? So we're gonna do the base of the bag in gold. And then I cut the two top and bottom pieces in gold as well. I also cut a middle piece in white. Then I took a piece of acetate and I cut it from the base page as best I could. Mine was small, it didn't go right to the bottom, but that's okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to glue the two pieces. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cut the top of this one off. I don't want that little detailed. So I am just going to trim that off. Okay, so I'm going to now glue or adhere these two gold pieces to my acetate piece. That's where I'm going to start with. All right, I don't know if this is going to work. In my head, it works. All right, so let me get this on. All right, so let's just line this little piece up. So my gold pieces are going on the acetate. I was not planning on doing that. I'm like, oh, I got the gummy bears. We should do that. So this is a bonus. So if this doesn't work out, it's just because I didn't think it through enough. It was just like a spur of the moment. Let's do that. All right. So that is that piece. So hopefully you can see that. Now I'm going to put that to the side and I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to clean my fingerprints off of this piece. And we're going to adhere the white piece to the center on the base. So let's get this the right way. Shimmy that over a little bit. This is why I like to use liquid glue. All right, so I'm going to do a combination of both. My glue's not working again. Okay, so the white piece is on now. All right, so now I'm going to take this piece here and yeah, see, maybe this will not. Okay, maybe it will not be a shaker card, everyone, because I cannot put foam adhesive on the sides because it's going to show. So we're not going to do this as a shaker card, but we're still going to make it into kind of looks like a bag of gummies. All right, so that's going to be our top piece. Is going to be a bag. So basically now I'm going to take my little gummy bears and I'm going to glue them in the white area here. All right, so some of the eyes popped out and some of the eyes did not, but these look weird when some are and some not. So we're just going to make sure all the eyes are. All right, so now I'm just going to place these. And I'm not too concerned that they are off the white piece because that will be covered by this gold piece. All right, so we're just going to fill this in. I literally had to, again, I'm not a big gummy candy person. I think if anything, if I had to eat any type of gummies, it's the Swedish fish. But honestly, that's enough for me. I'm not a gummy person in terms of candy. So I had to look up what color gummy bears were. So yeah. All right, so I'm just going to create now a cluster of all of these little guys on here. And I don't know if I cut enough out, but we will see. If I don't have enough, we can definitely cut more. That's not a big deal. If they go off the edge of the side, then I will just take a pair of scissors to trim them off. I think I'm going to need some more gummy bears. Maybe I shouldn't have filled it all the way to the top. Oops, he didn't stick down. I suppose I can have a little bit of white space in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I need to cut some more of these guys. I know it doesn't look so great now. It will. I promise you it will look so much better when I cut a few more out. All right, so let me get the die. All right, and this one was the littlest die from this die set. I love the fact that you get all of them, all the sizes. Okay. I have my red here. So let's cut a couple more red. I think if I have maybe 5 more will do. All right, let's cut a green one. Do I have any more green? Well, yellow I have. Orange. I don't know where my green is, so maybe we will have enough just with what I have here. I'm going to cut one orange, and let's see where we're at. All right. Okay, so let's do a red one here. And a yellow one. Okay, I think we'll be okay. I would have liked another green one, but we're gonna work with what we have here. This is a full bag of gummy bears. All right, so now this one here, I think I'm going to just insert there. I think we'll be good. All right. Okay, there is my bag of gummy bears. All right. So, okay, it's a little maybe obsessive, but that's okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do, these little pieces that are hanging off the edge, we're just going to follow the edge of the die cut here and just trim them off. All right. I didn't do too bad. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take my overlay, and now this is going to, we're going to pop this up. And now we have the little bag of gummy bears. Okay, that turned out really cute, guys. Originally, like I said, I was going to do a shaker, but it wasn't going to work as a shaker. So, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the thin pop dots to create that little kind of bow in there. So let me just grab the thin ones. And they are just going to go behind the gold pieces, all right? We're not going to put any behind the acetate for obvious reasons. We don't want that to show. And we are going to have a little bag of gummy bears, which are super cute. All right, I might be going overkill with my, I just don't want anything to fall off. Working on, you know, a slippery surface here with the acetate. All right. All right, and then I will get this on a card front. Again, I didn't think that way all the way through. And then I'm going to use that stamp set because there's a really great little stamp set that kind of coordinates with the gummy bears. Um, I'm very glad we're friends. It's perfect for this one. All right, so let's just make sure we have this. I'm going to stand up to do this here. Oh my gosh. That is super cute. Now, I'm just going to buff off my fingerprints from there, and look how sweet that is. Oh my gosh. All right, so that is our little gummy bear bag of goodness. All right, so then I'm gonna, I wonder if I should put this on. Probably not. I think they're just a little too busy. All right. Anyways, I will do this on a background. I don't think the bear will work. No. But and then with the sentiment, but I'm going to show you the finished results later on this evening, or I'll post them tomorrow morning. But there is our little gummy bag of gummies. Oh my gosh, super cute. All right, let me just tidy up here a little bit, and let me bring out all the cards we did featuring that lovely Snack Attack die and bundle set hit Chip Chip Hooray. All right, so there is our kind of shaped cards. My desk is such a mess right now. And then we have our, that was the original ones that I had done. And where's my last one? It's here somewhere. Missing in action. Oh my gosh, like seriously. All right, well, we saw it, and it was lovely, and we'll find it, but I'll make sure I get a picture of it. And that was that teal and red one that I had here. Maybe it fell on the floor. I don't know where it is. But anyways, that is the Chip Chip Hooray. I'm in a little bit of a hot mess this evening. But there is our Chip Chip Hooray kind of collection and how it all works with the stencils, the die, and the stamp set. Aren't they awesome? Oh my gosh, I love this. Oh, that's so cute. All right, so thanks for joining me for tonight for What's Up Wednesday for Chip Chip Hooray. And you can find this all on our website, www.stamplicity.ca. Thanks for everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye.